Welcome to another trading and training series video where we look at our chart and indicator setups. Tonight's video is entitled Take a Different Look. This video is brought to you by Active Trader Setups Trading Package, a day trader setups company. And remember, at Active Trader Setups, unlike many other websites that charge you hundreds or even thousands of dollars for training and education prior to allowing you to use their product, we offer that for free not only to our clients, but to our guests as well. You can watch all of our training videos. You can watch and learn as we train our clients and study and learn yourself prior to registering for our products. So be sure to keep up with our videos and continue your learning process. One day you will be a client. Thanks for watching our videos. A little different look. This could be the chart of NVDA during one day, or in this case, it's a chart of CRON, C-R-O-N, and it's covered over 2 months of trading. So your different look, number one, is this is a multi-day trading chart because it has multiple lines in it. If you want to get a chart on NVIDIA that has the multiple days in it, then you've got to change the settings on the chart, which would be much larger candles. This is our 25 setting on our 25-wick algo that we day trade on the bigger ATR stocks. But if you want to get a bigger look at something like NVIDIA, you got to get a much larger brick size setting on this algo wick bar. Another way to get a different look is to substitute this faster cloud with a longer trend cloud. So that could be used on swing trading or day trading, and we wanted to feature a few lower price stocks tonight as well. First, I'm going to zoom in on this particular stock. You can see breaking down the cloud here. You can see the little blue line crossing the yellow. That's telling you this has already happened. And so you've done the breakdown. You can take our nightly videos where we're actually showing trading setups or intraday setups and study how we show that a price retraces to a cloud level or another inflection point line like this golden line or one of our white lines on the charts, and you apply that in the same manner to a slower ATR, a smaller ATR stock, a slower pace stock, and you've got the exact same setup. It's just going to take more days for it to play out. So a lot of times you guys like to do some swing trades or some small price options trading, and this is how you apply that. To do that on a higher ATR stock, you go to a bigger bar to do that. I'm going to give you a little zoom in here on this chart where you can see a little more clearly. Nothing looks any different than some of the other videos that cover day trading, other than we have daybreak lines in the chart and it took multiple days. So you have CRON right here making a reversal bar back on the 3rd of June. This is actually the 4th of June. You can see the data box over here. We've got our reversal bar. Here's your reversal. You know it's sold down into the cloud, and maybe it's time for just this retracement alone back up to here. But it did make the reversal bar. It got the force, came up strongly on that bar. It wasn't red on this part of the sell-off. Here it was strong down. It didn't do a super strong reversal. 2 days later, when it does the reversal bar, it gives the strong force indicator at the bottom. And that's where the day kind of ended, right in here at 1424. The next day, this stock, this is 930. It's still 930. It's still 930. It's still 930. It gapped up all the way to about right here. That was maybe or maybe not to be expected. Obviously, it wasn't to be expected, but it did gap up. It had made the turn. Now, if you had happened to pick you up some calls right here, just looking for the next morning to open a slower pace basis and slowly grind its way up to here, so I'll take these calls and go from 1410, and if I can just get up to my yellow line that's showing me right here, which is the very first flat part right here on this chart as it's beginning to form, that's what you're seeing out there. You know, I can move myself up over the next couple of days. Maybe I can pick up 60 or 70 cents on this stock, and the next morning you wake up and you have this wonderful gap up, and you can get Maxwell on the phone and sing "Wee." Maxwell's our pet pig we borrowed from Mr. Geico. Now, taking this out a few days further, you got the rollover. This same day that it gapped up, it turned back into the cloud setup. It can go all the way down to here. We're still positive over here. This is the blue lines are representing this part of this cloud over here to your right. Consolidates around a few days like many stocks do intraday, and then it breaks up again. So this is a setup. It's holding well. It didn't pull back completely, retest. And then by the time you get over here on this particular day here, you've worked your way on a very tiny day. This is the entire bar for the whole day. This is the day before. This is the day of the 7th. You got 2 bars in there. But it ended the day strongly the next morning. It didn't gap up. It just opened about where it closed. This is 931, 931, 935, 1015, and it had another good day. So this is the kind of stuff you're looking for, along with our force indicator, and applying it to multi-day or creating your watch list for tomorrow. If this is setting up and you just want to day trade it, you can set it up and follow what the pattern's probably going to be for the day. This particular point, you're coming down into here. You still got a bullish cloud. It could bounce. This is intraday. Gets to the end of the day. So you're watching it the next morning to see, is it going to bounce here and head up? Well, it ends up, it gaps down below it. It doesn't even test the line, and it starts selling off. And it's a sell-off day. If you're a day trader, if you're not trading an RA account, you don't care which direction it's going in. You can short it. If you don't like to short, you can wait for another day and another setup. Now we're going to take a different look. I changed symbols to NVDA just for a moment. I'm going to do something on a chart, and I want you to load on a bigger ATR stock. I'll show you a way to get a different look. The indicator on this chart that produces the cloud is our DTS Ichimoku Scanner VL. We have a VL and a VLST. The ST is a longer term look back, more data involved. So, but this is normally we run those off our STSAlgo plot, and it's different than what we're looking at here. We looked at in a video in the last few days this chart, which is our key level marker on the 25 STSAlgo. It puts the VL and the VLST plots on one chart, so that you, at a glance, you can see the key cloud levels, the yellow dotted line and the pink lines, and then you can go over here to this one set to 50 input algo and see an even bigger trend chart at a glance where the lines are. Now, it doesn't give you the benefit of the entire cloud, but it gives you a quick reference of taking another look. We're going to look at that in more detail on a video in a minute. But this is also another look. Since we run the charts you were just looking at on the VL and the VLST, let's take this chart and move it up a level to a little bit more data involved in creating our cloud. And here's how we're going to create that. We're going to take this chart, we're going to right click, duplicate. I'm actually going to do both of these because I'm going to want to end up with both. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm not sure if I clicked the right thing or not. In a new tab. I'm going to go back and get this one, and I'm going to duplicate it in a new tab because I'll end up with all four of these together. And what I'm going to do, and when you do that, you notice first thing, see how squinched up this is. When it reloads, it always spreads them out. So to fix that, you just take your mouse and pull these back down. Now, I'm going to go in, and the only thing I want to modify is, first I'm going to look in our ATS Trading System folder. And we have two sets of indicators. There's a lot of indicators in this folder that are used for different reasons all around our charting package. And then there's a group of indicators that's ATS Inflection all the way down to ATS Volume up and down. A lot of different indicators in here. We keep those grouped together by name. We didn't place them in the folders because it creates havoc on reloading on doing updates. You build charts with them out of the folders and then you put them in the folders and the charts don't work anymore. So from this point forward, we won't add any more into the folders, but we'll keep what we have. We're going to take our, instead of our VL cloud that we have down here, we're going to add our VLST. And to do that, you're going to double click and it's going to appear down at the bottom. So we're going to double click. There's our VLST. Everything's built in. You don't have to change anything. And then we're going to move it up. I just like to get it up by the other one, all the way to the top, just by continuing to click up. Then you slide the bar up, see where it is. We're going to take it up one more level. And then I'm going to take this one for right now, and I'm just going to make it invisible by simply clicking not visible selected anymore. So I've turned the original cloud off and we've installed the other cloud, and we're going to hit apply, and it's going to apply that cloud to this chart. Do you see what a drastic difference that just made? Now, this is all one day on NVIDIA. This was a gap up this morning, gave a quick pullback, ran up. These are not daily inflections. These are session inflections. But I just wanted you to see how drastically the cloud changed. We went from this cloud to this cloud. And now, as it's selling off, we got a different perspective to a bigger look at this trend. And it's pulled back to a level that's this cloud right out here. And at that time that this pulled back, take your blue line to kind of get an idea of what was going on. Get the whole cloud in the picture by pulling this back more, even more, just to see the rest of the cloud at the end of the day. But right here was this dip coming down before the end of the day. So we're right here where the cloud was at that time you were making that, would have been making that trade. Right about there would be about what you were seeing when this was down here. So it's not twisted yet, so it has a higher probability of another uptrend before it's going to sell off. You also have pulled back to the cloud itself. Sometimes you can go all the way to here, but this is still in the blue line, which is the cloud itself, can be a support area. And in this case, it went all the way down and it matched up with the yellow dotted line from here. It's a high probability inflection point, and there you see what happened. Now, if you were on the other cloud, it wasn't telling you anything. It was cycling. It ran up, rejected the cloud line right there, short term. This is short term on a stock like this, okay? and it's selling off. It could just as easily sold all the way down to here. It could have went to this line. You know, somebody asked me, how do you know? You don't know. We're not in control of this. Our job is to interpret as best we can and apply what we see. Yeah, I said, I don't, a young man asked me just not long ago, and I can't remember the exact question, but it's like, how do you know? I said, I don't know. I said, what I'm supposed to do is react to what I see. There's a whole lot of forces way beyond you and I that are controlling what's going on these stock charts, and a lot of it's high-frequency computers, especially if we're day trading. But to take this in the middle of the day, I'm going to ride this as far as I can. That's why I have this bar. This bar tells me when it's appropriate to even consider the stock going the other way. Does it always continue? No. See right here, it pulled back, turned right back up. It chopped around. It don't just always reverse and run. If it did, everybody could do this, and nobody would be out there working to take care of us when we have needs when we're out and about. But you got this reversal bar, but that gives you a different view. I'm going to go ahead and create this other chart while I got it up. And I'm going to label them. I'm going to show you how to do that because you need to know why it's different. So we're going to throw this indicator on there again, VLST at the bottom. We're going to highlight it with our mouse, bring it to the top. I took it too far. Now I got it where I want it. I'm going to take this one, and this time I'm actually just going to remove it because I'm going to keep this chart. And now I've got this one left. I'm going to apply it. We're going to get the same chart we just got on the other. The difference in these two charts is these are daily inflection points versus intra-session. We want to tighten this up again. And then I want to rename my tab down here. And I'm going to call it Fast VLST. Because to let me know it's not running on the algo bar, it's running on our wick bar. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Click apply. And now we have that. And one thing I did fail to show you, you notice at the top of our chart, we don't have a lot of clutter up here, but we added some clutter right here. And the way you fix that is you go to your indicator and go to the label and just remove it. So now it's blank. And so now, after I apply, we have nothing on the chart up here in that area. So we kept our chart clean. Now let's go back and we're going to finish reviewing NVIDIA while we're here. We're going to go back to CRON. We'll bring this other chart in we had a few minutes ago. Now look what happened. The same exact spot where we pulled down and reversed. This is the same time. You see 1148 down here on the chart, 1203. It's the same time. This is the same bars on a different chart. This pulled back into 161.50, which is a entirely different cloud. This is either coming off the VL or the VLST. And remember, the thicker lines represent the longer, more data input. So it's the VLST is the thicker lines, and the thinner lines is the actual VL. So we've got a yellow dotted line, and on a VL chart, that tells us what the cloud value is out to the right. So on the VL chart, 25 STSAlgo, which is our main thing that means more than the ATS wick input, we had a cloud level. Now, to see how the cloud was shaped, you'd have to go out and look at the full chart itself, which is this chart. That's the STS Algo 25 VL cloud. It's pulled back. It's in this downtrend, and it came right into a support level, which is this cloud. And that's what that line meant on that other chart without having to see the whole cloud. So if you're here looking at this, you still got a very bullish cloud here, and it has not crossed over yet. It wasn't long from doing that. You can see it did, well, it actually was crossing over right here. But you still had this big cloud that can still serve this. You want a flat line. If you have a flat line, it signifies more of a support area. In this case, it had just flattened out when we got there. We don't know how long it's going to stay flat, but the line itself, which is shown in our box over here on the right, the value of that line was, I need to make my chart move it just a little bit. It's in the way. The value of the line 162.37. The low was 161.33. I'm looking at the wrong line. I'm sorry. 161.37 is the lower B line. The top part is the actual this cloud and the dotted line. This next level is here just so we can quickly find this B line of the current cloud, not the right side cloud. The right side cloud is the upper part in the data box. And we got a 161.37 with a low of 33. So if you're short on this, you're trying to stay in it, but you're aware that you're coming into this, because if you can break down through this, you're probably going to get a push down to the big pink line. Would be your next inflection point, unless your daily inflection shows you something else. In this case, it held. So you have to be aware. That's what a different look is about. When you're in a trade, start looking for things that can cause your trade to reverse. And when you're about to take a trade, go look for a reason not to take it. So if you find a reason, if you can't find a reason not to take it, it's an even higher probability that it's going to work. So while you're looking for a reason not to take a trade, many times you find other reasons to take the trade. So I'm back on CRON. Something I've added in this video, I'm trying to get in the habit of just the 2 or 3 symbols we're going to try to cover in the video. I'm going to try to put them over here in the right hand side each time I make a video, so you can kind of have a reference and see maybe what's to come. On the CRON chart, I just want to show you the different look on it, and we're just going to go over to our new charts we created, and look what you got over here. When you had this sell-off, now you can put these side by side and view them as well. These sell-offs, I'm going to break this out into a new window so that I can share them to you side by side. Taking a moment to calculate. We'll shrink this one up a little bit so we can see them both. This pullback here, which was on the 17th, which will be right here. This sell-off, you've been in for multiple days, and then suddenly it reverses in the middle of the day. And does a pretty nice little bounce there, about 80 cents on a $15 stock. Nothing shabby about that. Look what the different look showed you. Showed you selling into this other cloud that's got more data involved in creating it, and it made a reversal bar in that part of the day there. You only had 2 more bars back up. A little more clear. That's right there, and that's what's going on right here. These are the exact same size bars. They represent, they're set on 25, so they represent from the bottom to the, not from the bottom to the top, but each candle as they create, a new one comes in about every 12 to 13 cents. Same thing on the going down part. So you can see if you were short this by taking a different look, you showed yourself a reason to want to tighten your stop, to be aware that, hey, this may not go any further than right here. Also at the same time, here's the 17th, the same exact place. We've sold down into this bigger cloud support area, and that pink line, I can't see exactly where it was. That pink line has a value of 8. I'm not sure I'm in the right place. That ain't right. It says 1811, but I think I'm getting some data somewhere else, because that's obviously not where that line is. Oh, it's looking at this pink line way up here. It's the top pink line up here. Is 1499, and what was our low? 1502. Are you starting to see a pattern of how our cloud settings and our unique bars can put you some information that maybe you haven't been seeing? Now, does that mean this is going to bounce and go way up? We don't know that. We just have to react to what we see. Now, this is the entire picture of where that pink line came from. This is the actual VL cloud it's selling down into. We still got a big cloud here on our side. Here's your blue line way up here of the right side cloud. It's coming down. This is right where it's coming down to cross right here. So that's still telling you you got this much thickness in the cloud here. But here's your yellow dotted line rising. That's what's going on right out here. Take a quick glance at CGNX. Was in play today. The last couple of days. You can see where back the early part of June, it broke through a cloud, and here's a blue dotted line crossing. You can scan for this, by the way. You can scan for the twist right here. So you can take your watch list, scan for the twist, and then go to the charts and find your own trade. That's what a charting package and a trading system is about. You don't need anybody pointing to anything for you. If somebody's going to point for you and it's not working out for you, then learn to point for yourself. And then at least you're taking your destiny in your own hands, and you may end up being smarter than the guy you've been following as far as managing your money. Here's a breakout of the cloud. Got the twist on the same day. It's the first pullback, white dash line that's involved in this cloud out here. It can be a support line. Could have went down to any one of these other two and bounced. But it's starting this bullish trend, and that's my favorite setup, is to break out, pull back somewhere right after the twist, and step in. So there's your great trade setup there. This was happening on the 5th. We can go to our bigger picture and see if it was showing us anything on the 5th. And look at here. We broke into the cloud same day on the 5th. And when we pull back here, this is our new cloud way out here. Hadn't quite twisted yet. It's tightening up. That's this little spot right here. It actually twisted toward the end of the day, the next day. But we're in this cloud. The cloud is resistance area. You pull back and we held the yellow dotted line, which is this line right out here. And we got this turnover and then a breakout again. So that's taken 2 looks. More data involved in this cloud than is involved in this cloud, but the same day when that's all taking place. This was the 5th right here. Here's the 4th. We're going to go back again. This is the 5th. This was the 4th. So the 4th was just coming up, holding the white line that's involved in this cloud, but mainly I wanted you to see the 5th, what I could tell you there. So the first chart gave you more information here on the 4th that you're trying to get through the shorter term cloud. And then when you did break out and you got the pullback on the 5th, the other cloud gave you a wealth of information because you're holding this flat line and it's more data involved. So it's like looking at a 60-minute chart opposed to a 10-minute chart or a 5-minute chart. And then you got this great breakout. Don't let these lines confuse you because they're calculated based on today. They're looking back. These are the inflection points daily, and they go back multiple days, but these are this plot carrying back. Probably the reason these plots are here was because of that rejection there. And you can see when you got this sell-off going, when it came back into the cloud, it held and made another bounce. This was along about the 17th. 17th, you had broke down. You're down below this. So how far is it going to go? I don't know. Well, I got short right here, and I had a big, nice day trade yesterday all day long. That's great. But now what is this chart telling you? This chart telling you it may flush, but if it didn't clear this cloud, it turned and went back the other way. Again, you're taking a different look. We're going to do one more symbol and get out of here. We're just taking a quick glance at DOVA, D-O-V-A. Stock big gap up this morning, but this started the last few days, as I'm sure anybody that was trading this already knew. This was on the 25th. It broke through our shorter term cloud at the open. Not a big gap up, a little bit, and then it ran up during the day that day. These lines were not there at the time. The setup is the cloud is, you can see it growing out above the yellow dotted line, the blue line. So that tells you where the cloud is out here to your right at the time. You had a nice breakout that day. The next day it continued up, held the support early that morning. Then when it sold off, sold back toward the cloud. Still a very bullish cloud. You know the stock's bullish. You can see it on any chart, not just these. Today's a gap up. All of this was a gap up right here, 9:30 a.m. And it consolidated. I know a lot of people shorted it after that big a move, which is a great trade. It rolled over, sold off. You can watch all the choppiness, consolidation, and when it finally reversed, you can get in your trade. I like to take, when I start getting a chop, I like to just sit and wait on the candles. As they continue to chop, I'm less apt to want to take one short. I would rather wait on what I call a stable entry, which means I have to have a prior bar in this manner. But as you work your way right here, you got the red bar down, and then this tried to go back up again. It opened, it looked just like this now. When it first created this bar, it looked just like every one of these bars. And then it wicked back up again. As it did that and you continue to watch it, The blue dotted line is the cloud that's right here to your right. So that's the first level of any kind of support up here. And you know, you want to know, well, what's it going to do? So you just wait and wait on another bar down. Don't get involved yet. Is one way you can use our candles. Now, when it did reverse, it was pretty assertive, and you can see our force to the downside was already coming in here. So it wanted to sell off. You knew that, and you just wait and be patient, and then finally make you an entry. Because these are 60-cent cycles up here at the top. You get a great sell-off, and then it turned and bounced back up into this cloud. Now, when you got a small cloud, that's not much resistance, so this could very easily continue right on through here. If it does, it'll pull back. Maybe 1335 will be the first pullback spot for the bounce tomorrow. It can reverse right here and sell off all the way back down. The bigger cloud, this is what happened. This is really what I wanted to show you on this. As it was selling off, if you're short and you're like, well, hey, it just cleared this cloud, it may just flush. It may. But another look gave you this cloud that's based on more candles, and it got to the level that was right out here. It was actually this second bump up, flat, bump up, flat. So it's in this section right here. There's it's not 1182 now because it's changed a little bit. The level at that time, I have to look in the box, was 1172, and the low was 1180. So it came into this level and held this cloud line. So if you were short, that's a good idea. It's a good place to pick. I always like to pick my target going into a spot like that. And then you've got your reversal was not as clean, and now it's made it up to this white line, which has to do with the cloud out here as well. It's very bullish out here, so it could definitely keep going. Thanks for watching our videos brought to you by our trading and training series, Chart and Indicator Setups from ActiveTraderSetups.com. And don't forget to go over to ActiveTraderSetups.com and learn more about our inflection point charts, our Trader's Choice top indicator. That's the white lines you see on the chart, and the golden lines. That's ActiveTraderSetups.com. You also have futures trading with VFOC setups and the ATS Chart Trader. And also be sure to check out our bar chart trader videos where you can preset reversals to take you in the trade or give you the level that's going to take to make that reversal bar you've been looking at on our charts. That's part of our bar chart trader. You can use that for live trading, or you can use it in simulated trading, and it will give you the entry price of what the next reversal bar will require to form that bar and create a reversal indication on the chart. Also, you can go over to tradermembers.com, go to product stock charts, and you can find all kind of tutorials about our charts, many different style charts. We have chart templates preset with these ATS inflection charts, complete videos all about each chart. But mostly you're going to do most of your learning from our video series here on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to that channel as well. Thanks again for watching our videos.